I think I'm here. Hello, how's that? Sound alright? Didn't hear me? There we go. Marvellous. Sorry about that delay, everyone. That was 10 minutes. It's a bit longer than I intended it to be, but it's fine. All of you will have skipped to this point, who are watching it afterwards, and those of you who are here knew that I was imminent. But I'm glad I'm now here. I needed to get water, and I needed to very briefly catch up with my darling wife to see how the wee one went down and how she was at pick up from nursery. So, because you can't have those conversations when they're around, because the little one gets grumpy. when you have adult conversations next to them. So, a little treat to start with, actually, because I wanted to just, for everyone who's on, I don't know to what extent people watching this are aware that that there is a map, and I think, I can't remember, did I actually put that map up and show people how it works? Let's just quickly do Amphitrite. There we go. So this is the online map, which you can go into, and it's currently, this is being updated. You'll be glad to hear. And the updating is happening because this was all done based on very rough, not that rough, but reasonably rough assembly of aerial imagery, and it's actually remarkable how okay, but we can do better because thanks to the diligent crew. Oh my goodness, the internet is not happy. Actually, is it? Until tomorrow. I wonder if it's Dropbox causing issues. Yeah, maybe it is Dropbox causing pain in the bum issues. Anyway, also this is nice because it's got this Railway Gazetteer, which is nice. It's also got the dark railway map that's close, not identical to, but very similar to the old map as well. It's in there, and at some point I might rescale the old map to kind of broadly sit underneath, but at some point. And there's also the aerial survey from 1953, so you can see what was going on. You can have a little look at the. Actually, this is 1965. Forgive me. So you can see what's happening in 1965. There, marvelous. You can see. Which is good fun, isn't it? Look at this. It's all the aerials so you can see in high quality and see what's going on in a very neat, tidy way, which I'm very pleased about. So, maps. So, there's also this geographic map, which I don't think I'll reproduce. I don't think it's that useful, so I think we're probably going to. I don't want there to be a million of these, so I think I'll probably get rid of this and we can come back to it later. Because we're going to get more maps. So, the issue is that now we have this new process. My old process for creating the map is out of date. Plus, we now have contour lines. So it's involved me. Let's bring up my CAD. Here's the this is kind of the PDF output that you get. This is very nice. And I've had to update it. And the yellow patches here where I haven't updated yet. But all these other areas are areas where I have updated. Changes that have been made since are. I've done a better job of drawing everything, so the detail is more equal across all the other stuff. How's sound balance, by the way? Is the music a bit loud? Let me know. So the detail is a bit more equal across the whole map because I've kind of gone through the process twice now. Rails are no longer represented as double and single lines like OS. No, it's all single lines because this is directly outputted from the game, which means it's much more accurate and pleasing to look at. And detailed, and you get all the junction work very nicely, so everything looks very nice. The roads, not all, but most of the roads have now been are directly from the game now, rather than me drawing over them, which will help when I'm updating the map a bit. I'm going to drop the volume a little bit there. Thank you. And also the contour lines look very nice. They had a nice bit of detail, particularly in blank areas. So the open areas that were blank, you now know whether it's blank because it's an open heath or because there's a hill. So now you get the hills, which help a lot. I like those. You get this nice. It's just a much more fetching map with all that detail. I've made a point of naming more roads. The B roads are going to be numbered too soon. Not all of them are. That's a next line of process that I'll do towards the end. The new mapping process, well, it will be quicker because once I've finished this first, this is the same map as the one there. So this is just revisiting the 1953 map. The issue is that if I go into the annotation layer where I'm doing actually doing all the work, the issue is that I've got to go through each. So I've done this for everywhere else. I've done it. I'm working my way through, but there's more roads to name. I will send you all the PDF and tell you to name more roads again, by the way. I've got to go through and get the old. I've got to shift my built up area highlighting, so that's going to be shifted so it lines up with the new positions of buildings. I've got to delete all the old roads, reinstate the new roads like in the new position, tie everything in, move all the industrial areas so they're in the correct place, so on and so on and so on. So there's quite a bit on that front to do. particularly, so Richmond is chaos. There'll be a lot fun to do there, but also Bradshaw. There's just so much going on in Bradshaw with roads and with there's a lot to pick up and do, and I will pick up and do it all. And I've been making reasonable progress. Picking it up is like a relax. Usually I just do it while I'm eating my lunch. I'll go in and do a bit more, but we're getting there. I just did Rugeley, so Rugeley's looking nice and tidied up. You can see all the nice track work on the approaches to Rugeley. So once I've done, the good thing is, to answer the question, once I have done this, it will make updating the map much easier because everything will be in the right place. So all I need to do is basically go from one end to the other, look at where rails have moved, look at where roads have moved, look at where new industries popped up or old industry disappeared, look at where built-up areas have expanded, but it'll be much quicker to do it because I'll just be basically I'll be just comparing the aerial image. So, for example, I'll be able to, in fact, this will be the comparison I'll be doing, I'll be able to go, well, firstly, I did a lot of terrain tidying up. Last time there's lots more forested area, and I will be attempting forested area, by the way. Oh, look, let's get I'm here, hello. I will be attempted forested area for the next version of the map, not this one, though. But you can see that where there's a few things that, the odd roads popping up, and let's think of somewhere where quite a bit has changed. Let me have a think. Let's go to Wakefield. So yeah, here's Wakefield. So, for example, the 1966 map, we'll have, or the 1965 map, we will have, it'll be the fact that all that, there's a lot of road that has, disappeared. A load of development that's disappeared for the road that's going to go through there. So, stuff like that, and all the extra road construct, all the extra sort of houses built, expansion of the urban areas. All of that is going to get captured. Oh, also the realignments of the East Coast Mainline, for example. That is a good example of a thing that has changed. So that'll disappear, and will so things like that'll get represented. Much easier to do with the map all planned out. So that's that. I'm looking forward to that change. So there'll be two. So the second one will come much more quickly than the first because it won't involve all the fiddly reworking and reshifting. Redoing existing stuff is always much slower than doing updates to something that's essentially finished and agreed. So when the 1953 map gets finished, I'll send it to the appropriate people to which Jamie B and Blobby Tables, both providing a lot of support. Yeah, but it's just pleasing. I don't know. People are like, "Why are you doing this? It doesn't aid anything. It doesn't do anything." Well, it helped. I enjoy doing it. It makes me. It's a pleasing experience for me to do. And it's just like creating a piece of art. Like, it doesn't have to have a purpose. Like, I'm just doing this because it's nice and it just happens to be useful for the series. But actually, for the most part, I'm just enjoying doing it. It's a nice, pleasing, relaxing thing to do. There's no frustration with it. We've got some nice processes to output that I need to get automated so that if Jamie and Blobby can output the stuff again in the future, that I can do it myself, so I don't have to keep asking them. A few things like that I need to get done. But once it is done, we'll be in a very pleasing situation in terms of outputting these more frequently. Because, for example, at the moment, everything's called the old names, which is annoying for navigation. So the next version of the map will have all those names updated, for example. That's a thing that'll be useful. I said, for example, several times there. Will the Navy keep using flower cast corvettes into the 70s? Will we slap exocets on them? Zayav was... Very good question. Maps and trees, pretty. Yeah, I know, I need to think about how to get the trees in it. It's... Blobby and we're working on it, aren't we, Blobby? We're going to do a bit of back and forth on that one. But I just thought I'd show you what's going on there for now. But yeah, that's that for now. And this is also this. We can get rid of that. Nice and easy. Let's do this and this. Lovely. So, how's this working in game? The game is up, which is good. It's still paused, which is also good, because that would have been scary if it wasn't. We're going to see if the updated version of the game also crashes when we transfer over. Yeah, Jamie B, you're right. You only did the in 99% Blobby tables. You only did the contours. You can only do once. Jamie B, it'd be good for you to work with Blobby to see if we can output contours off the new data to get, because then we can incorporate all the cuttings and embankments. And I think that would look really good. So if we can do that, that'd be great. It's not vital for the map. I still think it looks good without it, but that'd be nice when we do it. People are asking about the difference in number of trees. I went on a planting spree to make the terrain look a bit more realistic, a bit more like what we'd expect to see. That's why there's a bit of a change, and that's why, Blobby, I didn't give you the 1953 aerial to put up, because it's kind of not canon, even though it is canon, but that it's kind of like there wouldn't have been all those trees growing overnight into the 60s. It's more of a so that's kind of, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Yeah. So, what's happening this episode? Well, what did we just do? We just finished the new Gampos City Station, didn't we? So that's what's going on at the moment. That's what we just did, was create an enormous mess, and I think we did quite a good job of not causing too much mess in Gampos. Like, we didn't bulldoze a huge amount. Like, we just kind of filled the gap, and trees and TP and Transport Fever 2 have that effect. They do kill your CPU. Yeah, interesting. CPU is not my issue. RAM is mostly my issue, so it shouldn't be a problem. The whole concept of an aerial survey probably isn't canon. Well, it's our approximation to sending a bunch of guys out and using trig points and trigonometry to set the map up. Did the local lines cut over in the last episode to correct? They did not, no. So, let's do a test first, because it's going to crash anyway when we go over. Ooh, are we? Or are we going to... I'm going to do the test, and then, worst case scenario, I then have to go through all the stuff, and we transfer over anyway. So let me just do a bit of a test. So, that's that. If I then go to Transport Fever 2... Has that worked? Has that worked? It seems to. Is this down working? Oh, there. This is why I was not going to huge efforts to. I mean, maybe it will crash in a minute when we do something else, but so far so good. That's positive. Okay, so, also, yeah. So new functionality, which is exciting. We'll play with some of that functionality in a moment, but for now. Look at this. Let's just have a look at Gampos City. I'm now distracted because that's now worked, which is extremely exciting because it means we can go back to doing the series how we used to do it, which is what I'd hoped would happen. There's the... It's a shame we can't rename the bridge, isn't it? That'd be nice. Does it do it by segment? Let's see. Yeah, it's just the whole bridge. It is. You can see it's highlighting segments, but it's not going to let us go. I'm not going to swap a bridge. Is there a bridge anywhere else that we want to swap? You know what? There is. There is one I want to swap. We're going to use it as a test. We're going to go over here. And, God, where are we? We're over here. There's an underbridge I want to swap out. Let's do a test. Well, that's not going to work. That is going to work? I mean, that's quite something. Quite like that, actually. What's the speed on this thing? 56. Oh, it doesn't say. If I do that, what's the speed now? 112. It's quite nice, actually. Quite like that. I enjoyed that very much. That was a nice process. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Well, I enjoyed that as a form of as a new structure. Are any vehicles ever going to fit underneath? You know, I think they probably are. They're not that tall, so I suspect they will. We can go and have a look later. We can swap it out again. That was, yeah, I quite enjoyed that. That seemed to work quite well. Love me a can opening bridge, yeah, exactly. What's wrong with the steel bridge? I just wanted to try out a slightly novel bridge, you know, structure to replace. That was okay. That was quite good. Well, in which case then, I guess we go back to this screen and see if it crashes again. So, what's the date? Spoiler alert. Right, what was the date? It was the 29th of April-ish? Yeah, something like that. Was it? And it's now, yeah, okay, so... Oh, I'm getting myself distracted. So, it was, it's the 1st of May now, and on the 1st of May, we have the continuation of the contraction of the rail network. This is probably one of the more contentious ones. it's the withdrawal of services and closing of the stations between Bradshaw West and Annapolis City. So this is the former major main line coming out of Annapolis. The line between Bradshaw West and Annapolis City. Following passenger stations will be closed. Richmond Joint and, interestingly, Annapolis Central being proposed for closure on there. So this is impacting the Great Northern Railway, the Richmond West Junction Railway, the Richmond Vale Railway, and the Kingston and Richmond Railway. Hello, Jay. We've finally another episode. So, I think that means that we need to go back to the game. And is it going to crash? We're about to find out in a second. The answer is no. It's still here. It's still stable. Yes! Look at that. Oh, that's very nice. So let us go over to this line and see what line we are talking about. So at the moment, this line has two services running on it. It's got a suburban service and a local service. A suburban service and a local service. It's interesting that this is saying this is including Annapolis Central on there, but Annapolis Central, the subdivisional government, the divisional government, the kind of divisional authority and the subdivisional representatives are absolutely the members, rather, not having Annapolis Central get closed. So that's getting pushed back, even though I think ostensibly all it would result in is an extension of. Well, I suppose you could just. I mean, the thing is, you could just consolidate services. So at the moment we have this. At the moment we have this electric service that runs in here and runs back out. In fact, you can see how many services we've got. How many services we've got here? There's the Annapolis suburban service. There's the Bradshaw to Annapolis. That's the direct service, and then you've got the looping service. And you've got the suburban service. So did we? I can't remember what's the date. Did we fully electrify the? Let's go in here. Tools. Is it running with fully electric service now? I think it must be, surely. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, nice. There it is. Oh, they're all on their way over. Okay, fine. Well, bully for them, because I think what we're going to do is let's do a trial, see what it does to numbers, because it's just quickly, if we click on Annapolis Central Station, and it's reaching out this way. Whereas if we click on City, it's not reaching that far. This is the thing. Is that Central Station is still... It's well located. It is well located. So are we going to fight Antitrust Rails pushing to close that service? Yeah, we are. Yeah. So that doesn't, however, help the situation on the other side. So we have negotiations. But firstly, we have Richmond Joint Station, which is over here, serving a sizable population compared to the population served by Richmond Great Northern Station, which is Nasa Great. So what we're going to see is... What are we going to see? I think what I'm going to do is... yeah. This is going to become... What is it? I suppose is it E now, or is it still... I guess it would be... Yeah, let's... This is going to become Annapolis Richmond. I'm going to then that and do, what is it, 3NO2. I'm going to call it a local service as well. So 4E01. I think that now is correct. Yeah, Annapolis Richmond. So we're not going to go to Bradshaw, not going to go to Oldwood. It's not going to go to Richmond Great Northern. It's going to run from Richmond Joint to Annapolis City. And back. that's that. So that's all it's going to do. So I do now need to put an additional crossover back here, which we can do quite nicely. No catenary, no. Oh, there's arrows pointing all over the place. Have you noticed them? There we go. Let's install this S&C. Also, let's just in timber, which means that this is now going to run through. So that means this. Let's just check the signals as well. The signal now needs to be bidirectional. Fine. So that should now mean that the train. Interesting. Okay, so this. Yeah, it's calling there. It's going to run along here. It's going to run into platform 1. And that, yeah, there we go. That's going to run it back there. So fine, that's what I wanted to see. Good. That's the local service running that way. Fine. Good. Yes. Marvelous. Kind of, yeah, the Richmond question. It's not perfectly served. There's reasons why the stations are all here, but they're all just hopeless. People are very angry about this level crossing. It definitely needs reconstruction, doesn't it, this level crossing, but is it going to happen yet? Maybe. Are we going to do it now? No, we're not. Right, so that's going that way. Let's just see now where we're at. So Annapolis Richmond is now doing that. We've got the Annapolis Mag Hull service, which is going this way. Yeah. But then you've got this chord here, which is now not in use. So, do we get? Yeah, I think. Yeah. So for now, we're going to see local service running there. This service continues to run, but will it survive? Will it continue to operate? That's the question. What's the future for all these bits of railway line? Well, anyway. So for now, a reprieve, not safety, but a reprieve. It keeps the service to Mag Hull, but not to Bradshaw. Yeah, so it's getting served by Annapolis. So basically, if you're going to Annapolis, you go to Richmond Joint. If you're going to Bradshaw, you're changing at Richmond Great Northern, and then getting the bus. So that's kind of logic. Or if you want to get to that side, then you actually need to go. You need to get the fast service up to Annapolis Central and then change, or Annapolis City, sorry, and then change. Actually, is anything running into Annapolis? The Suburban is running into Annapolis. Annapolis Suburban. No, so actually I'm going to change one of these because I want one of the Annapolis services to run into Annapolis City. And I think I want that to be the... I mean, you could get a fast service direct, I suppose, but I think... Yeah... I think I'm going to make it the Bradshaw Annapolis, and I think I'm going to make it... Annapolis Central. I think I'm going to make this now. Not Annapolis Central, but to... Oh, do we want it to... Yeah, Annapolis City. Possibly 7 if it needs to be. Yeah, I think that works. So that allows it to come in and out if needs be. But that way you've got, yeah, firstly use of the other side of the cord. Okay, there we go. Yeah, don't forget Richmond Great Northern Station exists, yeah. So, right, that is all that. That's all fine and good. So, what else is going on? That's there, that's there. Yeah, there's basically, like, Annapolis, the city authority, what was the city authority and has now kind of been subsumed into the subdivision, is sort of doesn't want to lose this connection, because obviously Richmond is a major, you know, the corridor up the Richmond Vale between Annapolis and Richmond is continued to, like, it's getting more urbanized, and so the idea of losing that railway connection and not being able to make use of it for railway connections is a bit of a no-no. Even if Amphitros Rail is kind of not necessarily paying that local attention, they're looking at, like, their strategic picture from the reshaping report. That's their vision. That's how they're seeing things. So it's a bit of a conflict between national and local. Richmond Joint, definitely the better place of the two stations. It absolutely is, yeah. Better placed in terms of where it is within the town, but not better placed in terms of the line on which it is, because it's definitely there's a better connected railway along here. I suppose the question might be in the future, you know, is a station, you know, do you open up a station up here and attempt to kind of feed the population that way? Because the population, you know, it's fleshed out massively. It's got this whole area has got, you know, hugely well populated and busy. Talking of which, I think let's go in here and just do a bit of painting. And this bring this back. Fine. Why have I done that? It's because I'm just wanting to prepare for more road connections. Also, get to look at this the new functionality of the nice, these nice sort of lines that they've been adding, which is nice. Anyway, right, there we go. So let's just lock this bit. Yeah. And am I going to successfully do it this way? Golly, no, I don't want to do that. Let's try and, right, if I... There we go. I think that's quite nice. And then, it's not perfect, but it's just facilitating the growth of Richmond, really. Yeah, marvelous. Anyway, also this can go, can't it? This is all long ready for demolition. It doesn't need to. Doesn't need to have rail anymore. Let's get rid of the tracks here. There we go. Let's just... let's tidy this up. There. I like leaving the bridges, just in case you're wondering. I like leaving the bridges there. It's nice to leave those where they are. Now, are we gonna... So if I continue this along here, maybe it's easier to do it. So the road is doing... Okay, fine. I just want a little... Probably just want a little road connection of some kind on here, don't I? Let's do something like this. And then test this with a... There, that I think is quite nice. Yeah, good. Is it going to do a weird curve? We'll find out in a second. The answer is no, it's not going to do a weird curve. The way we're going to fix that problem is by locking that so that it doesn't change. I think there's a kind of... Okay, I'm going to lock that, and also lock this to make sure it doesn't try and do anything fancy. Yeah, okay, fine. But I think I probably do want some form of road connection, just in case we want things to go that way a bit. So I'm just going to put that here as like a little tease for if Richmond wants to kind of continue expanding that way. So there's our prospective road expansion to allow for more residential and so on and so on. So that can all kick off in that direction. And this, I can then undo that as well. Yeah. Perfect. I think it's high time we cracked on, to be honest. Game seems to be running a bit smoother with the new update, actually. I mean, marginally. If tracks beneath the main line close in Richmond, could a new station be built next to Richmond Joint where the lines used to cross? So, a new station here, essentially. It's certainly an option, isn't it? We have to see, though. Bear in mind that the Infrastructure Rail have kind of exhausted their budget at this point. Like they've done all their they've done a lot of grand money spending, justified on the basis of like this will run better. It makes sense, but yeah, that was the line. That was the line that used to be connecting to the quarry. Yeah, that is now gone. What was that? Yeah, it's Dunsdale Quarry. Now very much gone. Fed by road instead, for better or worse. Yeah, but it doesn't matter because it's all going here, and they do seem to be getting all the stone they need, so that's fine. Anyway, Midland Brickmakers, huge, and for some reason, trees popping up a bit random. I don't know why they're doing that. Cool, they're gone now anyway. Right. Okay, I'm doing brain thinking, but it's never any good when I do brain thinking. Let's hope all that grows out anyway. Oh, what are people putting in the Discord? Oh yeah, okay, fine. Right, so I'm very distracted because I've not drunk enough water. Let me do that. JB, good night. It is very late. Sorry, everyone in the UK. I'm so sorry. This is the only time I can stream. So let's get on with it. Because it's still May 1967, we haven't done anything yet. So let's save. Let's save. And Richmond. There we are. Let's just save that. And go back to OBS. And while that's saving, this means in theory I can do this, which is... So that was that. Next up. Well, we need to progress to some time, actually, is what we need to do. So that's easily done. The save is nearly finished. What do we want to go and look at? What's changing? What needs doing? so much. I know that we need to think about this thing being used, by the way. It is, isn't it? Yeah, nice. Very nice. The road tunnel being used. Any other bridges we need to replace anywhere else? Probably. But now, can I select this individually? Oh, you can. Yeah, nice. But it just won't. Yeah, obviously bridge peer collision, because I put that in very much under duress. Late night ADHD brain is real. Yeah, oh, you bet it is. But we're getting there. We're here for purpose. God, this side. This. Are we using every platform in this station? We are, aren't we? Sort of. What's down here? This is... Oh, this is like two... Bradshaw Bridgeport and Bradshaw Droitwich. Both small, both could be using these platforms. Yeah, to the point of... I think I am going to make them use these platforms. Where are we? Bradshaw West. Let's put you in... yes. Platform 7. And you can use platform 6. Fine. And then Bradshaw Bridport. We're going to put you in platform 6. Oh, it's in platform 3. Oh, yeah. And then say that you can use platform 7. Okay. Because that then gives me some space to think about other stuff going on. We'll leave it for now. It's got, you know, these extra tracks. We're not going to do anything with them. But it does give us some options in terms of what we could, you know, things to think about in terms of the footprint of Bradshaw West and how we might get platforms longer and all this sort of thing. It just helps us. Can we ride the new EMUs to their destination? They've added the bridge tunnel replacement tool, but the pillars still don't work for shit. Yes, a guy called Pie correct. There's been a suggestion of looking at the islands off the mainland, which I'm in favour of. Let's do exactly that. So let's crack on. Let's do exactly that. Let's switch everything off in terms of what we're looking at, and let's go over. So let's work our way around. Any suggestions before we go first? Let's go to Haleros. Haleros first. Yeah. So there's all the industrial stuff at the down here. Yeah. It's a military aircraft landing. The old airfield there at for the Halewood Company. There, lovely, and a tall residential building. Clearly, a classic socialist tall tower in a small town type situation. And not much else going on the island, really. There's the Hellhead Steelworks up here. That's all. Let's whiz over to whee, other islands that there are. Well, the main cluster of islands is the Western Isles, isn't it? Also, while we're here, let's just have a quick look at our main road, our new Western Highway, West Coast Highway. Seems to be marvellously, in fact. Having a good time. Esme Robinson hammering along. Yeah, this road seems to be being used, which is good. So, islands, I got distracted. Let's go to... So, there's some of the islands. There's lots of vessels whizzing around. There's Portsmouth. There, lovely. And down here we have... Island Rail. We could use a rail bus, couldn't it? So yeah, we've got all these. Then we've got the Carrera there with Clacton on it. And I think the railway that everyone's curious about, of course, is the Western Isles Railway, the first passenger railway and we want to see how the level crossing halt is doing, and is there a train running to and from it? Well, it does appear to be, because here's the old chuffer. Is anyone catching this train? Has anyone caught this train? No, that they haven't. It's not a hugely popular. It's being run for the interest of the people looking after the train, I dare say. But here it is, running along. Will it ever get any further? I don't know. Who knows? I honestly do not know. The Heritage Railway plans, I don't have much and if a railway is still surviving, then it's up for grabs, and it's ostensibly closed, then it's up for grabs. But look at this though. It's nice to hear a steam train. There it goes. Toot toot. Could do with the rail bus, couldn't we? Anyway, there is the only heritage railway operating on the whole lot. Nothing new for ARSE. No, not yet. What other islands action do people want to see? So that's Westminster. There is Uckfield down here with decided lack of railway in it, and more importantly, the houses being built on the track bed, which I suppose is an inevitability. There we go. Okay, fine. So that's all kicking off. Liking like the wind. Yeah, I did notice there's YouTube's just it's not happy tonight. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether it's whose end it is, what's actually happening, but anyway, right. So those are the islands really. It's just like Paris. Sorry, that's Harpos, and there's Paris down here. Fairly busy, like yeah, the ferries. Three. Yeah, the ferries. There's people there. So we have a look at the. Lots of people unloaded. Yeah, decent number. And then that kind of the industrial side of things over there, and then the kind of the heat on this side. It is not Anna. You're right. It is nice to occasionally hear a distant whistle. You're right. It is nice. There's the hot south here. Our airports and various other bits and pieces looking increasingly enormous. New roads and development and expansion and all good fun. Yeah, quite a bit kicking off. It's a busy airport, this one, by the way. Like a lot of people collecting up. See the growth in use of the airport since first started operating, and its growth is pretty impressive, to be honest. At this point, it's quite something. Also, how's Aberdeen Airport Station doing? Busy. It's a busy station. Fair play. That's got to be one of the busier stations on the Bradshaw Suburban Network. Actually, wowza. Cripes. And what about this station at the other end? Actually, let's see what the station at Ely, the fairly recently expanded Ely Airport is. How this one's doing. This is the new airport down here. Humble beginnings. Let's ignore. To be fair, it's not ignoring it. It's just that's its. It used to carry goods back then, I suppose. Now it doesn't. Now it's anyway. Unless that's bus, and I can't remember what we probably snarled up who was the attachment to the thing. Anyway, Bradshaw at the airport is doing great. What's the general rundown of the archipelago? The general rundown, probably the easiest thing is just to go to the wiki page, and there's kind of a description of what the hell its deal is on the main Wikipelago page, which someone with a spanner might be able to drop into the chat right now. Most unusual port. Which port? Which port? This one here. This. No. Which other port are you referring to? Master Trams, where are you at? This is what we'll come to whatever this going on over here at Trimley momentarily, but it's not important right now. There's a video I did about the map's history. I didn't do a video. I haven't done a video about like the lore history, but the point of this. Just the series, Hannah. Yeah, Michael C summarized it. It's basically trying to say like how do rail networks form? How do rail networks and indeed transport networks form? There is a wiki page. It is a deep rabbit hole. I'm so sorry, Hannah. Yeah, it's deep. This series was about showing how using Transport Hoover 2 to explain how transport networks develop over time and how like history and events influence transport networks, and also consequently how to make your maps look realistic in the game. So it's kind of a combination. Max Johansson's given a nice rundown history. Yes, contentious relationship to its own transport network. Yes, indeed. Well, it's quite a positive one. Lots of people would see that the network is running much. It's hauling bigger numbers now than it ever has before. That is indeed the wiki link, Anna. Thank you so much, Anna the Spanner. I'm not going to call you that, Anna. I absolutely promise. We will never call you that again. Right. So, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I need to go to OBS because events are happening. So. I should be saving, shouldn't I? When I do, you know what? Can I do it? I can save. Let's save. I'm having to save more frequently because I'm scared of crashes at the moment. Basically, crashes are bad. We don't like crashes. I'm saving. Right. So meanwhile, I can get on with this. So, if you remember a while back, there was the Hiffett inquiry. Paul Hiffett had done an assessment of an inquiry into the shipbuilding industry, and on the 28th of June 1967 the Shipbuilding Industry Act was enacted. Set up the Amphitrust Shipbuilding Board to kind of oversee the kind of proposed reorganisation of the shipping, the kind of the shipbuilding industry. Substantial finances were made available to cover the reorganisation. Government agreed to guarantee low-interest loans that banks advance to owners purchasing amphitryon ships. So basically, like incentivising other people to buy amphitryon ships. And the measures were incorporated in the Shipbuilding Industry Act of 1967, which is this thing here. Right, so... Hannah Goodliff, very cool. Exploring and educating historical concepts through video games, always a great endeavour. That's the plan, yeah, that is the plan, Hannah. And so far, it's so good, actually. This instrument captures the will of the people associated with... I know that bit. Providing for the establishment... This is serious copier burn. Providing for the establishment of a public board with the function of promoting the ability of the shipbuilding industry and Amphitrust to compete in world markets, to enable the board to give financial assistance to persons carrying on shipbuilding undertakings and marine engine manufacturing undertakings, to enable the Minister of Technology to give guarantees in connection with the construction of ships in shipyards situated in Amphitrust and the equipment of ships constructed in such shipyards and for connected purposes there. And we go. Date of commencement 1st of July 1967. So well, firstly, let's do that. So, 1st of July 1967. The next thing we want to talk about is game load. Game load. Do not crash. I'm just letting it run through to the... You know what? Let's just wait. So, these were the shipbuilding endeavours, and basically we're going to see them split into two groups. One of those groups is the Southwest Shipping Group, and the other group is the East Coast Shipping Group. So there's all the shipbuilding facilities are going to be individually not doing so great. We'll go through these in a minute and go through each of them and kind of incorporate them. But they're basically been grouped into... it is a quick turnaround between ascent and commencement, Master Trams, you're right. Southwest Shipping Group, East Coast Shipping Group, the two shipping groups. So they're going to become essentially grouped into... they're retaining their individual operations, but they're joining a shipping group so they can kind of pool their resources. You know, they're kind of back of house costs, etc. Reduce their overheads and therefore become more competitive. That's the plan. Anyway, so what else is kicking off? This stuff. Yes. So the other thing I have to worry about is these troublemakers, because it's at this point where the box is starting to make appearances. The container, the shipping container, starting to be standardized for starters, and so over the last few years, there's been a serious effort to expand the island's first container port at Trimley. And indeed, here we go. Here's the news from the 1st of July, Saturday the 1st of July. The Warden here publishing the headline news is that there's a Thai Airways flight ditching in Hong Kong, which is no good. That I wouldn't worry about that. And a very beautiful shiny Sud Aviation Caravelle 3 ditching at the end of the ditching in what was then called Kowloon Bay. No, the important news is Amphitros entering the globalised age as Trimley Container Terminal opens. So Sophia Marshall, industrial correspondent of the Dorchester Warden here, pointing out a nice aerial photograph construction of the port. Located downriver from Bradshaw on the southern banks of the Don Estuary, the enormous new facility is expected to become Amphitros' busiest port. And there we go. It's a pity that Transport Fever doesn't do this. This, which is the most important development in logistics in the second half of the 20th century, bar none. So it's a shame that there's literally no way of sensibly modelling this, which is very irritating. But you can model what container ports look like, which is what we have done. Anyway, lots of stuff. Riser intermodal container. Fine. So, meanwhile, the Amphitros Railways Board has stated it will work closely with the Docks Board and Ports Council to realise the maximum benefits from the site. So, okay, so let's whiz over to Amphitros again. Actually, no, that's not quite, because here's a nice zoom in of that aerial photograph showing this ship here that's unloading stuff for the construction of them. There's all the workers' cars parked up, but they build this massive thing that you can see. You can see lovely Aberdale Airport in the background with what appears to be a Comet 4 taking off as well. Very nice. Anyway, then there's the old railway sidings coming in that they've now been rebuilt, and all the construction work going on. Marvellous. Anyway, lovely. Building this big port. Fascinating. Let us go back to Transport Fever and crack on, shall we? So, let's go back down here. Here is the port of Trimley. And here is another Comet coming into land over the top. Here's the port of Trimley. I think it doesn't have anything, so what we're going to do is set up the shipping to use this. I also just want to double check what the situation is in terms. So we need to set up all the logistics associated with this thing. So let's first of all get ourselves to the 1st of July. Also watch this Comet coming into land. You're going to do it. Okay, it's the 2nd of July because I didn't pay enough attention. So, the first thing we have to do actually is the shipping groups. So let's come back to Trimley. There's lovely Trimley anyway. We're going to come back to that because we've got the Southwest Shipping Group and the East Coast Shipping Groups. Now, while we're in the East Coast, we might as well go to the first of the shipbuilding entities that's up in Annapolis. It is the Annapolis Engineering and Shipbuilding Company Limited. And they have the vessel parked inside the dry dock at the moment. So that's going into the... So let's just... I'm going to just rename this... Well, not rename it. I'm just going to... It is I think it might be as long as it can be. Possibly? Yeah, pretty. Because it's not letting me rename it. That's fine. Anyway, that's one. That's one in the East Coast Shipping Group. The next one is the docks. Yes, I was going to say it's presumably the Halewood Company's Bentley Shipyard here is incorporated, and the other one is presumably the Great Northern Shipping Company up here. Yes, the Great Northern Shipbuilding Company. Sorry, up here. The harbour is getting increasingly. It's a big old space. Forest Limon Harbour, busy. Also, the main road, the motorway, being continued to be constructed in round, trying to connect into the airport and the harbour, to provide a fast link for goods in and out of that harbour. So, Forest Limon has spent big on its harbour, which still dates back to, it's had reconstructions during the war, the expansion during the war. But the main naval harbour of Amphitros. But now being competed with by the port of Trimley as a container port. So let's see what happens with that, which we're going to do in a second. So that's the East Coast Shipping Group. Let's just remind ourselves of what's going on with the Southwest Shipping Group. It is, let's see, the Orpington Shipping Company. They're, I think, a remnant of the original passenger company and freight company, but just is now shipbuilding. So that's one. I think there's two down in. There's got to be, it's absolutely going to be. There's Eliades Celino Shipbuilding, numbers 1. That's there. Their docks there on that's on Ventnor, isn't it? Yeah. And then Tinagma Marine Engineering Limited is another one. So that's very nice. And then the last is down on there we are, on Paris, which is the Paris Shipbuilding Company, which is kind of a fairly recent endeavour. I think it's quite a new one. So there we go. Apparently containers are planned or put in the game, but were removed for some reason. That's extremely irritating. There was a grey one, because basically what's been proposed is that this there is one other shipbuilding entity. It's down, where is it? It's down here. And it is the Ely Motor Company's dry dock. I think the proposal is basically that this gets demolished. Let's see, is there anything in it? No, nothing in it. I think essentially this just closes. I'm not going to demolish it yet, but it's essentially that this closes. Is this still functioning, actually? Is this line still actually doing anything? It's diminished quite a lot. I dare say that is... Well... Yeah, basically it's that this one isn't going to be part of the shipping groups, and is expected that it either survives or closes, basically. Tis the plan. You can see containers during the loading screen. Very true. Very true. Master Trump is asking, would Voris Limon's harbour be to Amphitrus what Dover is to England with fast ferries to Greece and Turkey? Actually, the ferries around the place, yes, Voris Limon has a lot of Turkish and some Greek ferries, but there are a lot of ferries that go out to Greece and the Greek islands, certainly from Gampos as well. And there are some ferries that go, international ferries that go from Bradshaw Pier, I believe. Still, even though the station's closed. It's on the map, actually. There we are. Late game trucks have containers on them as well. Definitely feels like it was planned to be a more fleshed out feature. Yeah, it's irritating. Right, where were we? Trimley Container Terminal. First things first, let's have a look at the track layout for this, because we've got a situation where this... So there's basically a bit of remodeling needed to be done. So these could come through and stay on. Could kind of just be 2-track here, couldn't it? Because not making any use of those. No use being made at all of the the grade separation there. But never say never. But the so I'm basically just trying to think, is it this, if that comes down, I think the issue is that I need the signals as well. So I think just need to make sure I know I'm paying some vague attention to what I'm doing here. I think essentially you could just 2-track that bit, couldn't you? It doesn't need to be 4-track railway. It could just be 2-track. You could just rationalise this a lot and avoid this horrible junction here. Or do you put another platform in, widen this out, in fact, and then have the kind of the shipping traffic separated for a bit, and then perhaps rearrange them down here. Let's slap a line in first. Right, so where do we want this to go? Do we want stuff that comes in here? Do we want it to basically run... I suspect we want it to... The sensible thing to do is to run it into Tadley and do it that way. I suspect that's the sensible way to have a service running. So let's do that. So first of all, also it's funny, isn't it? Because there's no because these are long platforms to match the size of the terminal. This is what these look. This is what these terminals look like, by the way. We've got potential for it to expand, as you see there. Another platform could be put in, but isn't at the moment. Turkish high-speed lines being built using British loans. Yes, good idea. The stream is being a pain in the ass. I'm so sorry, Guy called Pi. Hopefully the saved version at the end will be better. I don't know what's going on. It's not my PC. There's something going on with the internet connection. I'm not quite sure why. Oh, alright, so I was getting distracted because I'm just clearly too tired to be doing this tonight. But anyway, let's crack on. So going from Trimley Container Terminal to Tadley. That's as simple as that. So there's no other platforms at Trimley, so that's nice and easy. Tadley, let's have a look to make sure we're not screwing anything up. So we're coming in around the back. Marvellous. We're going to park up over that side where nothing else is anyway, so that won't be a problem. We can also go to 3 if we really wanted to. I suspect it won't be a problem. These are not full length 320, they're like 280 length. No, that 240 length platforms, I think. There we are, so let's do that. Good. So that, I mean, let's just keep it pink for now. It seems to be going through fine. Yeah, it's fine. So that runs through there, that runs through there. Runs through there, that busy old bit. I am getting there is some streaming issues coming through my end. I'm getting the yellow band popping up on YouTube quite a bit. So there needs to be some tidying up here, but for now we can leave it as it is. I don't think it's an issue. Do we have the approach signal? I think we do actually, yeah, so that does seem to be working. Fine. Okay. So this is... oh, this is where I need to remember my... oh, golly, okay, right. Let me just remind myself of my head codes. This is the thing I need to remind myself is what are the head codes, because I forget. So it'll be 5. Okay, so this is going to be 5. 5S. I don't know what the number will be yet, and it is Trimley to Tadley. Okay, fine. What did I say? 5S. 5SO2. Grendon to Tadley. Yeah. Actually, you're right. It's not going to be S. It's going to be... is it? No, it is S. It will be S. It will be S. Trimley to Tadley. We just need a train to get down there. The question is, where is a train going to join this line from? Because there's fewer... there are now so many fewer... we need this thing. There are so many fewer facilities to send trains places. As in, we don't have any train building. There's far fewer train building facilities now. The way to do it might be for me to do this. Sorry, to do this. Boop. 5. I suppose this is a fast liner service, isn't it? Yeah. Not enough money? What? How much does this thing cost? I don't know. Let's duplicate it and find out. Let's move this first so I don't forget. Now we're going to move it to Trimley Tadley. Oh, it's worked. Marvellous. And Trimley Tadley has this. It is going to be a fast liner. Marvellous. This can carry most stuff. But actually the first just the first train's going to come off. Just going to do another test because I suspect, new line, that the first service is actually not going to be a goods, like a general goods. It's let's see, to run fuel into. That gets use of some lines that I haven't seen used for a while. Should be good. It does have to come round onto the suburban lines, which is obviously a pig. Fastliner services came up not last episode, the episode before, I think, didn't they? So that, yeah, so that's the same thing. So this is going to be new tanker wagons, I suspect. 6S01. Yeah, lovely. 6S01 Trimley to West Shildon. Again, let's pop that there. And oh, that'll be APC. Forgive me, APC. And we want, so let's press down. I'm gonna just duplicate one of these. Oh. I'm not, because I have enough cash. We're running on the bread line, folks, at the moment, which surprises me because I think we're making a lot of money from everything now. Yeah. Okay, so let's pop that onto trim it to West Shildon. But also we're just gonna ooh. I don't want to do that. I want it. Yeah, there are goods fuel. Let's totally replace this because we want a nice. What's it going to be? What's the prototypical? So orange loco, of course, and we want. What's the shiny? Oh, very shiny. Now what? Yeah, there we go. How big do I want to be? Let's go for 1 under 200 for now. There we go. Oh, it can't be because that's 160 limited, isn't it? So it has to be a bit shorter. There we go. 12. So that's going to run back and forth with fuel. If it's going to run back and forth with fuel, then that's marvelous. Though that is, we also need to bring fuel in. So this is the bit where we get to talk about boats, because we need to go from all the way up in Rugeley. Yeah. Actually, what can we see? Oh, actually, we don't need to. We just need to rearrange the Rugeley to. Yeah, there we are. So, don't need to change it from Bradshaw Harbour. We just need to move where this stuff's going and get it going down to Trimley. And then get rid of that. So what's that? That's unloading fuel. Yeah, fine. Unload fuel. Marvelous. You can go anywhere you bloody like. There's plenty of space. There we go. Happy days. So that is that. Fuel now coming into Trimley. What else could... It's a slow start. What else can Trimley be used for? I think there's much going into Bradshaw. There's equipment going. There's Hennick supplies coming in. So there's a bit still using the old harbour. There's some stuff, but Ruben Jelly is just catching up on the stream. Could the network be split like Berlin's Wall? It's all very happy and unified at the moment. There'd have to be some politics happening to result in that sort of thing happening, to which I couldn't possibly know or comment on anything like that. So that's the railway coming in there. That's Trimley. So okay, that's Trimley. Fine, happy days. And is that should we get cracking? Yeah, I think so. So let's see if that works up. It's also a pity that you can't have ships and planes from outside the map. Yeah, lack of international connections is a bit of a shame. That one. That's an oversight. It'd be very nice to have an international connections element to the game. That could, I don't know. You could export goods, for example. It'd be very, very nice. Just think how nice that could be, having an international connection into our. Oh, just think on it. Just think on it. Oh. So there is. You saw a picture of the container port being built earlier. There it is. Very nice. Adjacent megalomaniac maps. Yeah. Right. So. Make sure I've got all my bits and pieces lined up. Yeah, there we go. All in a day's work. Marvellous. Thanks, Chris Tilton. Also some nice bits and pieces going on Liverpool expanding and yeah. There's Liverpool expanding and it connects in. There's new main roads being connected, new connections across to Bradshaw, and the Bradshaw continues to expand. It's the edge of Bradshaw growing, and its connectivity to other places. It's just Bradshaw's massive. It's just absolutely massive, and I wonder how the new roads are being used. Oh, someone asked about Raleigh actually, Raleigh bypass, and see if any more people, any more traffic was using Raleigh bypass. It's a very good question. Let's go have a look. While we're at it. Actually, we don't need to have that selected because it's easy to find it. Here's Raleigh bypass, the big old A345M, as I think it is. And people are using it. Is it a lot of people? Does not appear to be, no. But it is being used. There is traffic using it. It's just an extremely overbuilt bit of infrastructure. What about our other main roads down here? The what's the A3M or the M3? A bit of use, but nothing dramatic. Okay. And what was about other? Let's have a quick look at. Wait, what other roads are we? There's that road, and then our main road up here, which is also seeing use. Oh, Maghull. I want to go and have a look at Maghull and see if people are using the road through Maghull. There's the. Oh God, it's somehow satisfying and yet horrifying, isn't it? Yeah. The road through. Anyway. And the other road I was curious about was, Maghull. The road through Maghull, is it seeing much use? Not really. I suspect it will. I suspect it will. The game hasn't been running that long, really. I mean, say bypass. It's kind of a through pass, but it's bypassing the main core railway down there. It's making use of the former railway corridor and then bulldoze its way out the other side. Anyway, right. It won't be in 30 years from now, says a guy called Pi. Well, we'll see. I don't know. How's the game going to cope with everything? We'll find out, won't we? Anyway, let's save, because I don't want it to crash. What's happening next? So Trimley just opened, so let's save that. And let's whiz over to here, because 20th of July is the point at which there's a Iron and Steel Act. Basically, the Iron and Steel Corporation of Amphitrust has been reformed into the Amphitrust Steel Corporation. Here it is, Amphitrust Steel Corporation. Here's a nice advert for them. What's the point of this? Well, consolidation and the ISCO was not a hugely effective organisation, and this is kind of the natural next step into forming a sort of self-contained state body that operates and runs the steel industry and Amphitrust. So what were they saying? ASC in the first formative years. That's talking about like what they're intending to do over the next period. Huge restructuring that is ASC involves 7 major steel producing sites, 110 million lira in capital employed, a labour force of 2,500, and an annual turnover over 100 million. Did I say lira? Yeah, it is lira. I'm just lira, including direct iron and steel exports of 18 million. There we go. Motivating force. In a word, profitability. Uh-oh. What's all this going on then? It's a discussion of profitability. Well, so, fine. Basic task, in the face of intense international competition to modernise and rationalise, to weld together a highly... see what they did there? Highly complex, highly diverse industry and put it in business against all corners. To obtain all the benefits of large-scale operation, to avoid the frequent disadvantages, in short, to achieve a successful combination of central control with decentralised operation. Fine. Supply materials. First step taken by the new ASC has been the immediate evaluation and supply of feed materials. Close collaboration with the Amphitrust Mining Board and both Amphitrust Rail and Amphitrust Road Services will ensure that both the supply of materials and the delivery of products is completely optimised. Where possible, this will take cognizance of the National Goods Plan. Here it is again. It keeps being mentioned and no one's ever actually put it on the table. And the aggregation and distribution yards being developed and built across the country. Okay, so we're going to improve the steel industry by improving the way that the materials arrive into it and the steel goes out. So that's understandable, and we can have a look at that. There's ideology happening in this advert, yeah, for sure. Why might that ideology be popping up? Big picture stuff going on here. These insipid discussions of like profitability is I mean, we saw it with Amphitrust Rail, but it's getting more aggressive. First year, keeping a very large number of going concerns going. Well, yeah. Vitally important success in retaining the confidence of both the people. Anyway, you can read all this yourself, but basically, right, including the unique employer director scheme, a practical advance in the concept of workers' participation. Okay, right. That to me reads like a step down rather than a step up, to be honest, given the fact we're a socialist republic. Determine the shape and size of Amphitrust Steel in the 70s. Ooh, the future. Right, so we've got expansion, developing core facilities, including the modernisation of the Morecambe, Chesham, Highgate and Rylestone (Gampos) sites, including improved railhead facilities. Ooh, okay, so better rail connections to these facilities. Steel is a basic ingredient of Amphitrust's economic growth. Almost every industry and public service depends on getting the right steel at the right price at the right time. So there we go, 50% of Amphitrust exports are steel-based. So we've got to get this right. By the way, as ever, a representation of adverts going on in the UK at the time. How boy, how we did not get any of that right. Oh boy. So, with that in mind, let's talk about the sites, because there are several steel sites that we need to talk about. So, if I was over here and just make sure I'm looking at the right ones. So. Let's start at the largest of the steel facilities, which is, because these all need to get renamed as well, so I'm going to go through and do precisely that. So, here it's called Christoph Steelworks. Well, this is now getting renamed to ASC Varios Limen. Very straightforward. ASC Varios Limen. Christoph Steelworks, the name lost for good into the annals of time. Almost. So that is ASC Varios Limen. So this is by far the most sort of this is the only kind of tier 2 plant, steel plant. It manufactures heavy steel for construction and shipbuilding, as well as some specialist applications, and all the other steel manufacturing plants are lagging behind. It's got quite a lot of stuff stored. Its transport out is, so let's just check. Yeah, its transport out is currently where consumers, who's consuming it and how? Because it doesn't look like it's actually able to ship anything anywhere. It looks suspiciously like it just isn't connected. It might once have been, but it looks like it's actually lost its connection with Oh no, it hasn't. Industry doesn't do that. Okay, no, it's connected. It's fine. So steel is going to be coming out of here, going to places. I suspect quite a bit of the steel will be going straight to... Well, what did we decide that the consumers were? Yeah, so 2 consumers. A lot of it's going to the West Crawl, the CCC's West Crawl work. A decent chunk is going over to the Northern Printing Company. I suspect a lot is also going to Greenland Shipbuilding, and etc. etc. Okay, fine. So that's ASC Voris Limit. Next on the list in terms of scale is the other former CCC site at Morecambe. So this is now ASC Morecambe. ASC Morecambe. And so is this. Lovely. And so is presumably so is some other way that it gets fed. How's this? Where's the stuff going? Is it? Oh yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah. So it's being fed by this and it appears to be. So who's consuming? It's all going to West. Interesting. So that's all going to the West Crawl Works as well, with presumably a train. That's where is one of those? Here's one. Empty. There's another one. Empty. What about this one? Also empty. And this last one? Crucially, empty. But that's fine. They're okay, whatever. So, next on the list. So, Morecambe manufactures heavy steel for construction and shipbuilding again. So, it's the CCC. It's formerly CCC. You know, they built this one a long while back. Might the station in Morecambe be cut back a little? Looks like there's a lot of potential for development there. Yeah, well, let's have a quick look. It is a little overscaled. I will agree with that, but the potential, you know, the intent is that it has, you know, more. Actually, who's supplying it? Is it all being supplied via road? Whereby? Is it all coming in here? Yeah, it must be. Is there a drop off at Morecambe or? Okay, that's just. Oh yeah, that's coming in from. Oh no, that's coming from around the corner. Yeah, okay. So it's worth saying that there's like a lot of the ore and coal is now being shipped to Barham, here, the aggregation yard, which is, to be fair, stocking up a fair amount. So it's all coming in here. So we've got all the different sort of. Just all coming in, yeah. So it's got all the coal that's coming in that way, coming in and going out that way. Interestingly, not much on the other side, but you know, I think, yeah, this is the main sort of aggregation yard. If you remember back to the reshaping report, there were these aggregation yards proposed. This is the one for up here, and a lot of it is for aggregating coal and ore. How that coal and ore then gets across to Morecambe is another question. So I presume that's their intentions to road ship it across, because it's not an easy way to. There's not an easy way. The only way they're going up is going up through Forest Lane and back down, which does not to me seem practical. So interesting. Oh, the old Morecambe Pier station. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. There is a lot of space for development there, isn't there? Oh yeah. To be honest, I kind of half thought we'd done that, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot of space for development. Let's. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, that's quick. Good grief. Very quick. There we go. That's that station chopped up. The original. You know what? I'm just gonna do the same thing here. I think probably, yeah. There we go. There we go. Those two can get surrounded by construction. Petition for the Boggy Slot Railway Company to become a thing. Yeah, don't worry about the Boggy Slot. That's fine. It's all good. Yeah, it makes sense to have like a railway that does that, but it's you know, presumably we'll just have a. If it's been consolidated here, we end up consolidating it by road this way and then consolidating it by road back this way again. Anyway, right. So that was Morecambe, Chettisham. Let's go down to Chettisham. Now, where's Chettisham? You ask. Chettisham is on the outskirts of Ely, down here. Because, yes, there is what was the Ely Motor Company Steelworks is now without a capital H. ASC Chettisham. ASC Chettisham. Marvellous. I think that is. It's all there. ASC Chettisham, marvellous. So what does ASC Chettisham do? So Chettisham was the Ely Motor Company Steelworks. It's primarily manufacturing plate and rolled steel for automotive and machine parts, funnily enough. Next is we're going to Rylestone, which is over in Gampos. It's a little tour of the island here. There's the Rylestone, which is up here. So this was the Shanklin Steelworks, is now ASC Rylestone. There we go. LC. So this big old steelworks, rail served, which is good. It's on the main freight corridor now. This is now the main freight route. Oh, that's a good point. We didn't talk about the logistics over at Chettisham. So Chettisham, not hugely well connected because it's off the main. It's not really rail connected. Does it have any? There's not really any freight potential to link up either. So that's somewhat of a challenge. Yeah. So we saw that Rylestone is pretty well connected. Rylestone again provides plate, rolled and bar steel for various uses, particularly automotive, because it's feeding the Shanklin Pagonis Limited. Shanklin Pagonis Company over here, the motor company. And there's only two more left. So the other one is over here because it's SC Hale Head. Yeah. SC Hale Head. Fine, marvellous. And it is served by the jetty. There, that's as simple as that. This is just it's a kind of a specialist steelworks, particularly steel for use in military equipment vehicles and shipping. And it's basically for the Hillwood Company down here. It's their steelworks. Last and probably least is ASC Orpanos, which is over here. Yeah. ASC Orpanos. And what does this lot do? Well, ASC Orpanos, plate, roll and bar steel for various uses for export. It does have rail connectivity, but it has rail connectivity onto a network that is now it's still it's got those connections. It is served that way. Yeah, not much more to report really. There is ASC Orpanos. That's the estate. Yeah. So, with all that in mind, let's crack on. So what else are we going to go and have a look at? We've now got a bit of time to just go and enjoy looking at things. What else do we want to spy? The expansion of... Ipswich has expanded massively. I don't know whether it's... Let's have a look at this station stats, actually. Harland and Maybury again on... this is Wellesbourne down here. It's called Ipswich Town, but really ought to be called Wellesbourne, because this is the town of Wellesbourne, sort of the village of Wellesbourne, as it's expanded separate to Ipswich. Let's let's go down to London and Maybury down here. Doing great, I think. Yeah, there's nice recreational fields in there. There's London. Town does have a bit of a service stopping at it, yeah. Happy to report that the #1 Google search result for Boggy Slop is the Archipelago. That's exciting. They're suburbanizing into the Boggy Slop there. They are a bit, yeah. Don't forget to rename the station buildings, as the game tends to delete the names on the tracks. No, I know, I need to come back and rename those. I'll do that off stream. I've got a lot of that. I can tend to have this open while I'm doing the map, and I go back and forth and make sure things are named properly. Yeah, has this thing collapsed yet? No, it hasn't. You remember, there's a news report recently of it, or not recently, years ago, of this thing sort of starting to give up the ghost. But it seems to be okay there. Steam. It's a steam operation still. Including this thing, which kind of feel like it ought to be replaced by. Let's just replace all these, to be honest. It's time, folks. So let's go for diesel. I'm kind of curious, to be honest. If I go for this one, and then I guess it's limited to, yeah. So that's 55, of which I have not got that much for now. Chersonisos Finchley FC. The football. I'm interested to see how the football teams are doing, actually. Is London still served by train? Was that cut? London is still served by train. Still served by train. Now, this is mediocre, 108 capacity. Fine, that'll do. It's a very colourful train now, though. Hell yeah. There we go. Talking of which, how much steam are we still running? Because, kind of feel like that would be pertinent right now. Let's click on all. Let's click a condition to very bad. Understand what is where. So we have the steel. Yeah, so that. Yeah, okay. Let's replace all this stuff that's in rubbish condition. So we got APC Dawlish to Shildon. Again, feel like those could be replaced by what we just did there, which was, and what did we say? 180, wasn't it? Yeah. How much is that? 24. We can do that. Yeah, good. What's that now saying? Well, things, these are now not 8, though, are they? That's the other thing. Oh, God. Yeah. It's now 6. Yeah. Fine. What's the other one we just replaced? It's this, wasn't it? Which is now this, which is 6. I'll check the letters later to make sure those are still correct. Yeah, good. What else we got? We got this lot. Finsbury to Ely. Okay, right. I could probably just swap these out with them. Now. Yeah, we can just crap these in, right? Yeah, alright, so just swap those out. Marvellous. Okay, so we all and continue to do our little search. A and B Finsbury Cold. Oh yeah, okay. See that now, right? Okay, so. Oh yeah. The local that thing. Well, we can. To be honest, we can manage this vehicle by. I think this is going to be a. presume that 240 is the... Yeah, let's just do... Yeah, there we are. Okay. What's the next one? Passion Suburban. So this is... Yeah, I was expecting that to be the other one. So this we can swap out with... It doesn't really matter if it takes a while to get up to speed, because it's going to reach the other end, and that's fine. What else have we got going on? There's still some steam going. Not least Blackpool to Richmond. Yeah, there's still some steam. Don't worry, there's still some steam kicking around. Yes. There's a bit that's... Yeah, okay, there's some stuff that's stored, but... For shores, there is... We'll come... I'll do it this time. We've still got a few steamers running around, so, for example... We've still got the steam heading down to Haddiscoe that's now... I mean, decidedly... don't need to have this paused. Decidedly severed from the rest of its former network now, because it's... The incline is officially abandoned. Very much abandoned. 42 out of 57, that's doing... Seems to be better. I mean, stocking up on... It's getting... The number... It's not too bad. It's getting there, I think. Alright, what else are we going to have a look at? Do give me shouts about what we're doing next. So... Need to work out what we're doing with... Are we going to put the Kroll station there, or what are we going to do with the Kroll station? That's a kind of an interesting question. At the moment, it's kind of is there. So, yeah, it's September 1967. We're making our way through a bit. We've banked a few months now. Forest Limit Station. You know what I wouldn't mind doing? A couple of things. Firstly, let's see how our cities are doing. Annapolis still absolutely sailing ahead there. It's just massive growth. What's kicking it all? It's interesting because it's what's really kicking it? So it's 10, 20, not much. 610, 230, whereas 630, 250. Bradshaw ostensibly doing better for itself and should be bigger. I think it's just on the up and up. Yeah, I think Annapolis is going to get overtaken by Bradshaw again. Obviously, Bradshaw is bigger because it includes Shildon as well, so it is a larger city. But still, Bradshaw, yeah, crikey. Like even our smallest villages are, yeah, small. What's happened with the Voyous Limit electric plant to connect to the airport? Yeah, that's gone quiet, hasn't it? Yeah. Do you have any good reading recommendations on rail liberalisation? Yeah, there's this book coming out on the 12th of November. That should be an interesting read. No, there's a bit of a mix of rail liberalisation literature. Unfortunately, a lot of it seems to be pretty fawning and suggests that it's wonderful, and all of it seems to make the same mistake, which is correlation, not causation. And it's extremely frustrating. And it also takes a view of a rail network that has spare capacity, which we should not have. Our rail system should not have spare capacity. We should have the ability to have a little bit of spare capacity, but we should not be running networks, particularly this is less about Britain. Britain sweats the hell out of its asset. Britain's the opposite side. It's not enough capacity. Mainland Europe, a lot of capacity that is not used and should be. And open access might make sense where you have that spare capacity, but it does not make sense where you're running a railway where you're sweating the asset, like in the UK. Frankly, that's kind of where we should be at, because climate change is going to require us to sweat assets. Let's see. Oh yeah, Annapolis does have very good. It's the traffic is very good rather than good. Yeah, true. But then the stations, Annapolis is good, whereas Bradshaw is very good. So growth is highest in Bradshaw, then Shildon, interestingly. So Shildon also doing very well. And then Annapolis. Forest Lemon matching Annapolis, but it's just the pollution is not great in any of these places. Pollution is dreadful everywhere. Just huge growth everywhere right now. That's where we're at. Just big growth happening. Let's just also check our railway lines to see how we're doing in terms of burning money. A lot of money burning, and it's all the freight, interestingly. The freight is just not happening. To be honest, I need to go off stream and just slowly go through. OBS, what are you doing? What is my internet doing? It's not Dropbox. The internet is just grumpy. Tell me if you've still got me. I don't know what OBS is up to today. It's been very weird. Yeah, this is a situation. Finances have gone up, but hopefully it'll carry more passengers, question mark. Let's see. Yeah. I'm hoping that... Okay, it's costing more because we've got that many more trains, but it should be functional, should work, passengers should be on it. Yeah, okay, so this is still losing money, but I suspect it won't be for long. This is the Express Bradshaw to Forest Lemon service that is currently losing money, but it will not for long. I'm confident of that. Yeah, quite a few passenger services that seem to be losing money, but ought not to be. But you can see there's the intercities are generally doing pretty. So if you put this on its head. So outliers, 1801 is losing money. Generally doing pretty well on the regional services, on those kind of long distance regional services. The suburban services pretty well in Bradshaw. Not the East Coast mainline ones are not great, but I guess that's just because they're picking up demand. Then we've got the suburbans in Forest Bay not doing great, and the Tanakba Gampos suburban also not doing great. What's this one? The local from Stratford to Hartlepool is not doing great. Interesting. Demand is just falling. Oh, well, that we can resolve. Let's pin that as well. Let's just go through here. Not empty, not empty, not empty, not empty. Ah, there we go. There's the one we want. So let's send it to depot because we might make use of it later. But that's done. Let's see if that helps. But it all seems to be honest, all of them seem to be underutilized. So let's send that one to depot as well and see if that helps. So this doesn't seem to need that many trains. Stratford Hartlepool, that should solve that problem. Katapos Thessalos. That is also fall. Interestingly, that is also falling demand. Yeah, interesting. Trainworms has the book with them. That's exciting. Ben Rattigan. Hello, Ben Rattigan. Hello. Hartlepool needs to be reduced to a single platform for 30 years. It's true. Yeah, let's see. And the fast liners are expensive and earning nothing. Oh, interesting. One of them seems to be doing alright, actually. Trimley Tadley. Oh, that's the one we just created, so it's just not lost any money yet. Yeah, the fast liners are not making money yet. I am interested to see if the game will be able to deal with them. I have a funny feeling it won't, and it'll just be hopeless. Anyway, we'll pay a bit of attention to that as we go. And what's the biggest loss we're making is it's the Kroll Tadley. Now, why is this? This is the service. Why? It's just all over the place. Why is it so all over the place? Well, why is it all over the place? Is because it's not been transporting any brick. It should be. Is it because the demand's funny? So you know what we should do then is, should we do it? I was going to say bank these and get them. It's, yeah. So, the unloading is consistent, but the loading is not. Who's consuming? So Forest Lim is taking most of it. Hexham's taking a bit, random. Bradshaw is taking not much at all. It's just the demand. Which screams to me that actually we need fewer of these trains, possibly half the trains, which is what we're going to do. Let's do this one by one. Let's pin these. That's nothing on it. Let's... Oh no, there is something on it. There's something on that. There's nothing on that. There's absolutely nothing on that. I'll just sell it. Might as well be nothing. Might as well be nothing. And it's just... It's pathetic. Sell you. Sell you. Let's go for 3 for now, but I don't even know if 3 is... Let's... Could even do 1. Could do 1, couldn't we? Do 1 train. 1 full train would actually do this load. Let's do that then. Yeah. Suspect that'll help. No, I think it's that Bradshaw's getting his bricks elsewhere. CCC Limited losing market share too. Well, we can find out, can't we? So if we go to... If we get Bradshaw up, in fact, and we go to suppliers, and we can see who's shipping the most. Yeah, so interestingly, CCC Limited are providing the bricks, but it's all coming from the Prosopo works. Prosopo up here. These works, weirdly, are the ones providing all the brick down. So the furthest you could possibly be from Bradshaw is the one providing all the bricks, which is interesting. And then it's Midland Brickmakers in... Interestingly, not even the Richmond ones. It's Midland Brickmakers in Droitwich that are in Butterley here that are shipping the majority of bricks through. That's where the majority of bricks are coming from. Followed a little more sensibly, the Brickworks in Richmond, Midland Brickmakers in Richmond, which is NBC, isn't it? Is it branded NBC? I should have gone and renamed all those. Those being fed, majority of those coming through. So what is that? That's supply, and then this is. If I just click this, you'll see all the road. All of the road stuff going through here and spitting its way out, popping out into here. This is a nice little tunnel. Yeah, which again, I don't know why I've paused. I can keep playing. Now this is a busy bit of road. Crikey. Mazza. Yeah, crikey. 0% transport from Midland Brickmakers, which is worrying. Shouldn't be. Oh yeah, crikey. Why is it saying that? That is worrying. I don't know why it's saying that. Is it because it just can't calculate the numbers, even though the numbers are big? Because there's quite a lot of legs for it to arrive here. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, Tadley is receiving much, as you'll see by the fact that it's full of bloody bricks. There's quite a lot of brick waiting there for distribution. Yeah, and there's a little vehicle. Yeah, so they're all coming through on this nice improved road, allowing them to overtake and do all sorts of stuff. Interestingly, they're driving in the bus lane, which I didn't think they were able to do. Interesting. What are the legs from Droitwich to Tadley? Let's put a direct train in. Yes, I could. I think the reason at the moment it's split comes in to Richmond, possibly? Let's find out, shall we? I'm pausing so I don't lose track of time. Let's find out. There we are. So that comes down. No, it's from Tadley. It is going all the way to bloody Tadley. That is what it's doing. There is a direct train. From depot. Oh, I see. Card, yes, the map is large. It has currently got a population of... population is currently 64,000. It's not doing too badly. And our finances are... Let's see, road... ish, about... Yeah, let's see. We've just tidied some road vehicles up. Rail is... Vehicle maintenance has dropped. Maintenance of tracks has dropped. Maintenance of infrastructure has dropped because we've got rid of a little bit. And our tickets have reduced actually over that time, but it's fine. And investments into tracks is moderate, but not enormous. Infrastructure overall is bigger. Infrastructure into vehicles is always massive because this game is weird. And investment into roads has been quite high because motorways. And other income, seem relying less and less on big government income inputs, which is quite interesting. Water just continues to not do great, not terribly, but not great either. Air is just ballooning into an enormous amount of income. Tickets are massive. Vehicle maintenance is less because we've got a newer fleet, and just the maintenance infrastructure. Maintenance of infrastructure is less. It's also quite interesting. What is other? Just general infrastructure that doesn't have a home. Yeah, so we're yeah. We spent a lot of money on trains, I think. So we actually had the bank balance is pretty good in 64. 66 is dropped again, possibly because we spent a little bit on motorways. That's also an issue. And in terms of our track mileage, you can see what's been happening here. We've got rid of quite a lot of it, and we're actually dropping down to the level of mileage that we had before the turn of the century. So, that's quite something. Continues to drop. Yeah. Right. Anyway. Right. There we go. 64,000. There we go. Droitwich, not Frome. Oh, yeah. Let me go to Droitwich. Sorry, Master Tramp, you're asking specific things. Droitwich. Let's have a look. Butterley Tadley. It is direct. It is direct. Butterley Tadley. As direct as the rail network will allow. Yeah. Tell you one thing that's fun is that the road network, there's a series of gaps, actually, of road connections that are decidedly missing, which is interesting. I wonder what they're going to do about said missing links. There's lots of ferries still. A ferry here. There's no road connection this way either, so there's several gaps in the road network that's kind of notable. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep trundling on. Right. Spooky music. Right, what else are we going to go and have a look at? Go on. Yeah, these cities are getting, I mean, it's just getting huge, you know, like, the continued growth in all directions is quite something. We're getting some more growth on the other side of the railways, which is nice over there. Has Richmond started expanding onto the road we laid out? Not yet, no. No, not yet. What's over past level crossing? Oh, quite a few level crossings still on the network, yeah, for sure. Yeah, quite a few about. So, if you remember a while back, there was a rearrangement and government was introducing its road delivery. Oh, yawn. Sorry, everyone. Road delivery units. Are you boring me? No, I'm boring myself. By which I mean I'm absolutely exhausted. But I want to get some. I want to crack through into 1968 if possible. So, I end up Stratford. The road delivery units. So these central units for delivering road upgrades and new road construction. So we need to set one of those up. One of them is going to be set up or rather just off on the outside. Morecambe really is extending its way down, like, it's getting big. Morecambe, Stratford, and Ipswich, golly. It's just going to be an enormous island of city, isn't it? It's quite something. I'm kind of sad about that. I would definitely have put less on the map. Fewer settlements on the map. Had I been planning ahead when I first set this game up, but obviously I did not do that. Because I opened one map and played one map, which is, you'll better believe it, how I play so many games like this. Right. I'm going to put it, where's the main road? Yeah, the main road's here. I'm going to put it, here. Right, what are we doing? We're building a truck station, and oh, that's quite nice. I like that. That's new functionality. Oh yeah, so if I hold shift I can still have it going all over the place, but this way, that's quite nice. I like that. And this is going to be, no, it is the Central Roads Delivery Unit. We just need to put an office in. Give him a little office. Little shed there, maybe a slightly larger office building, and then maybe a warehouse for some bits and pieces. There we go. Yeah, Central Roads Delivery Unit, nicely connected in, so that it can get in on and off the main road network. But yeah, I'll take that. That's them. Marvelous. That was what was that? 3rd of October. Yeah, lovely. I'll just record that there. Marvelous. So, ooh, fun, exciting. You know what? What time is it? Firstly, it is 23:23. Okay. Firstly, let's keep moving. And I think what I'm going to do is keep going to the 1st of November. It feels like a bit. We're not quite 1968, but getting close, because there's quite a few things I want to do behind the scenes, like in the background as well. People are wanting to get to 1968 this episode. Maybe we could do it. So there's basically consideration for if we can. So there's the old harbours at Gampos and at Tinagma. Question is, can we successfully expand Gampos Harbour to take containers, or are we going to have to build a new and expanded port elsewhere? Could we get away with building, for example, a new container port facing this direction that basically just is connected to Hadraw? Could we do that? Could we do it? Oh, we could if we could do that. The 60s have been so long, it's been like a year at least. I know, but it's because there's stuff going on and pauses, and I've had like a year or something of me doing other, having other stuff going on. Baby, for example. I had a baby. Yeah. I had some assets to do. We got the assets done. We're now asseted, as it were. up until nearly the end of 1968. So there's an episode or two in it. There's now some behind the scenes stuff I want to do to keep us moving, which is why I've paused. So I need to think about where. In fact, that's what we're going to do for. We're going to go through. We're going to reach August next time, 68. But what I want us to pause on the 1st of November, which is now today, is I'm going to give you the space to screenshot. Although obviously, also you have all the aerials, so you can do that yourselves. What are we going to do about? So that obviously the old harbour at Tanagra is it's just hopeless knackered. Gampos Harbour is pretty good, but they got rid of the rail connection. The rail connection is gone in the harbour. That's now gone and being occupied with buildings as we speak. So that's done. Right, I have an idea for 1968. If you're building any new stations, definitely make sure they won't be big enough 50 years from now. Then block anyone who complains about it. Good plan. I like that plan. To be fair, that is basically the case for all the stations we've built. Some of them are nice and big, but I dare say quite a few are not. So, in terms of container vessels, I don't think that we have the capability to... that's an awkward position for it to have stopped in. It's a shame it couldn't stop parallel to the harbour, frankly. Oh my god, I'm getting these... Are you hearing these critical beeps, by the way? It's OBS saying that it's deconnecting and reconnecting. Or do we build this new harbour down here? What do you think? OBS is being rude. Carad, you're absolutely right. OBS is being very rude. Carad, lovely to see you here, by the way. Hi. Yeah, I suspect that a new harbour being built here that'll have a road connection directly into the Hadro distribution yard would be the most sensible strategic thing to do, because then there's plenty of space for other industry to build up here. All sorts of industry can start popping up and appearing all over the place around here, which I think would be a good use of this hinterland, to be honest. Yeah, I suspect that's what we're going to do. But plans, thoughts, welcome. I don't suspect it'll be as big as the one at Trimley, because that Trimley one is presumably the one that the kind of the international container festival. There's this one that'll be more the Isles facing one. But at the moment, you've got all the goods coming out from the Isles, coming in, like various bits and pieces going out to the Isles. That, yeah. What about the? Yeah, there's a couple of oil going to those places. Yeah, so there's some interesting. So consolidating that might be quite good in terms of getting rid of road traffic and actually putting it all into rail, because you can rely on the lovely Hadro distribution yard, which is not huge at the moment, and but has the potential to expand if it wants to. But yeah, there is. So there's potential. I think that's it. We'll do some playing to build it up. Right. Good luck building the harbour at the angle you want, because they now snapped the coastline and I haven't worked out how to prevent that happening. Hold shift. Oh, I can hold shift to re-angle, but it won't actually place until I release shift, which goes to snap out to default angle. That is irritating. That's going to make me quite angry, I suspect. Oh, yeah, that is irritating. Yeah, that is irritating. Okay. Because I will definitely want to lay it in an orientation that suits... Whoa, how am I going to do this then? Oh, that's irritating as hell. Oh yeah, that is irritating. That is very irritating. Can you switch it off? I thought they would provide a way to easily switch that functionality on and off. Instead of shift, press C and it'll allow you to place without snapping. Ah, there we go. That's nice. Okay. How do I... Okay, that's how I rotate. And then I can guess I rotate with shift to get it to do it incrementally. So then if I do that and something like this, That might be how that works. Is that what you're suggesting? Something like that? That would do it, wouldn't it? I mean, I know I've just made that a passenger one, but it's fine. Is that where it's going to be? Yeah. Okay. We've placed it. Yes, marvellous. We've made that work. We're going to fix the mess we just made in terms of placing it with a blinking... let's do this with... Did it? Yeah, there we go. I mean, why are you facing this way? Come on. Why? Oh. Well, anyway, it's... it wants me to place these here first. I have to place this thing here first, and then it'll let me... Yeah, there we go. They're always a delight using these tools. Because that... You know what, maybe that's not bad, actually. And then I can come back to it. 1, 2... What are you saying? Why are you building this? I thought you said you weren't going to do that. Well, because I'm simple. Simple man. Yeah, and then all the rest of it. So this is going to be the... What are we going to call it? Port of Hadro. There we go. There's another option. They could have gone... you could have actually put the port down here. Down there, but... You know, I think we're going to have it. It's going to be a... They're going to apply some sort of sensibleness to link these two, which would be nice. Right, okay, so it is time now. Right, so let's save. What was it? 1st November. Let's save. Is 1101 and Port of Hadro just got built. Oh, well, golly. On which note, oof, that was a stream. We've got to do some months. It's not bad. Not bad at all. I'll take that. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Okay, we're making some progress. We're making some progress. There's a few interesting things. What's next time? Next episode is gonna, I think, might involve some stuff to do with buses. More on that next time. I'm gonna wave because I'm just absolutely exhausted and need to go to sleep. Everyone, cheerio. That was fun. We did some stuff. We'll do some more stuff next time. In a couple of weeks, probably. Because, you know, I'm in London next week on Wednesday night. Cheerio, everyone. Bye, Ben. Goodbye, Karen. Goodbye, Michael C. Goodbye, a guy called Pi. Goodbye, everyone watching. Jay, I enjoyed catching up. Cheerio. Look how far I've sunk into my chair. Going full sips here. Here he is. There we are.